everyone, it's Miss Elaine from the Firehouse Art Center, and I am back with another virtual kids art class. And today we are continuing with Sports Week, and we are doing our painting class. So Monday, actually it was Tuesday because we did have the class moved to Tuesday due to Memorial Day holiday. So we did our drawing class on Tuesday, and we learned how to draw a lot of different sports balls based off of the circle, and then also the football, which is kind of based off of a eyeball shape. So we did that on Tuesday, and today we are going to be doing a watercolor painting, and we are going to be doing it based off of David Hockney's work. Now, if you look at this painting, it's a little messed up because my printer is messed up, but here is a better one. It's just smaller. Anyway, so we are going to be learning a little bit about David Hockney, and we are going to be doing a drawing with watercolor on top. The technique that we are going to be learning today is called watercolor resist. Because we will be using oil pastels or crayons, and these are my fancy Mr. Sketchy crayons, and because they are a wax or an oil-based medium, they will resist the watercolor and they won't take on the color of the watercolor that we're using. So that technique is called watercolor resist. The artist that we are referencing today is David Hockney, and today is our painting class. Friday will be our multimedia collage sculpture class, and we are going to be making some fun things just to mess around with over the summer because summer is starting. Hi, Annalisa. So on Friday we are going to be making these super cute skateboards, and they do roll. You will need an adult's help for this because there is, I'm going to turn it over, lots of hot glue involved. So as you kiddos are going to design these, and it also depends on how old you are. So, you know, if you feel like you are old enough and can handle hot glue safely, then you can hot glue your own. I don't want you to be afraid of hot glue. I do want you to respect it though, because it is hot and it will burn you if you touch the hot glue to your skin or the hot glue gun to your skin. So don't be afraid of it. If you're old enough to safely use hot glue, you can ask your adult, your parent or grandparent or caretaker or whoever, whether you can do the hot gluing yourself, and they can make that decision, or you can ask them to help you after you design your skateboard deck to glue on the toothpicks and the beads. So for this one, you'll need popsicle sticks, you'll need 4 toothpicks, and you'll need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you'll need 10 beads. Now, I do have packs of these available if you want to come to the Firehouse to pick up. You'll just have to send me an email to elaine@firehouseart.org, and I can have one ready for you to pick up with all the supplies for our Friday class, which includes the skateboard, but it also includes 3 other popsicle sticks for your hockey sticks. Now, these are a really great boredom buster because what you can do is you can play hockey with a friend on your table, your kitchen table, with one of the beads or a penny or a button, and you can set up a goal and kind of just play as your favorite hockey team. And once again, it is a hot glue kind of thing. You do have to hot glue it together, but then afterwards you can just design it. So whether you're old enough to venture into the use of the hot glue gun yourself safely, or whether you ask an adult to help you out, Friday's class will involve hot glue. So just make sure you have either an adult to help you or that you can do it safely. Okay, so that's Friday. We're going to be making our skateboard, which rolls. It's got the beads on the bottom, and we will be making our ice hockey set, or I guess street hockey. I guess it doesn't really matter. But if you just come on, once again, my name is Miss Elaine. I'm from the Firehouse Art Center. We are a small nonprofit art gallery that is located in downtown Longmont. We're on 4th and Kaufman. We usually have these art classes for kids in the gallery on Saturdays. It's our Saturday Art Experience class. But as we are dealing with a little bit of closure and social distancing and wanting to keep our community safe, we've moved our kids' classes online for now. Right now we're doing them Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but this is our last week, and we are moving into our summer schedule for next week because summer's here, yay! As you could definitely tell outside, it's getting a lot warmer, but our summer hours for virtual art classes will be Tuesday and Thursday, 1 p.m. So we're going to make it, the Tuesday class is going to be drawing and painting, and the Thursday class will be multimedia and collage or sculpture. So just so that we can keep the same structure. But we're moving our classes from Monday, Wednesday, Friday to Tuesday, Thursday. And you can always watch live, or you can watch later and create at your own convenience. All of our videos are going to remain on our Facebook page, or you can just set up a playlist and you can visit our YouTube channel, and the username is Firehouse Art Center, and it has all of our classes listed under art classes, so you can just play the whole playlist if you have some time to create some art. But we're going to go ahead and get started with our watercolor painting based off of David Hockney's pool series. So David Hockney was a British artist, and he moved to California around the 70s. And after he came to California, he started to paint these swimming pools. So he painted the swimming pool series, and he actually did some paintings and some collages. He liked to do photo collages as well. He really liked painting with the bright colors, but also he really enjoyed painting the reflection on the water. And that is what we are going to be doing today. So we're going to be painting a swimming pool, but it's a self-portrait of you inside a swimming pool. So I'm going to turn the screen down so you guys can see my work surface, and we are just going to get started. So as we get started, and I want you guys to have all of your supplies, so whether you're using crayons or you're using oil pastels, I want you to get them all ready. So I'm going to put some of my colors right here. Now, you don't want to use colored pencils or markers because we are going to be adding watercolor. And if you were to add watercolor to markers or colored pencils, the watercolor would not resist. It would actually just color whatever you were coloring, and it would color on top of it. So we don't want to do that. I'm going to move some of this stuff out this way. Now we want to make sure that we are using, this is my sample that we're going to kind of work off of. I want to make sure that you guys are using the correct tools. So oil pastels, and these are crayons. So make sure you have those. Just going to get this all ready. So this is for the first part. The first part of what we're going to do is we're going to draw our self-portrait in the pool. Now, if you want to draw two people, you can. I am actually going to change this up and make it just one person so that we can actually add a little bit more detail. So these ones, because I tried to fit two, we're just do one, and we can add a little bit more detail to our drawing. Because I want you guys to think about, as you're drawing your people, what it looks like when you are underwater. So I want you to think about what your hair looks like, if you have long hair, how it, and this is not really the correct representation, how it might flow and float with the movement of the water, how being underwater might distort how you see your body under the water. So I'm going to pull this up, and this is David Hockney's work. So you'll see it might make your body look a little distorted. Your hair might flow out a little bit differently than it would outside of the water. So I want you to think about that. And then also at the end, after we draw our person, we are going to draw white lines in our pool. So I'm going to bring it closer, and you'll see these lines, these white lines in the pool, are the sunlight reflecting off the water. And I want you to think about that while you're doing your drawing, okay? So I'm going to move this up, and I want you guys to grab a pencil, and we're just going to sketch out what we look like underwater. Now, I don't want you to get too worried about whether this looks exactly like you. Remember, you're looking through the water. There's reflection. When you look at the water, your body looks distorted because there's also refraction, and that's just how the light is hitting the water, and it just affects how your eye sees the body underneath. So I want you guys to take your piece of paper, and you are going to start with your head. And I'm going to draw a little bit bigger than this one. So as I said, I'm going to just do one person. So I want you to think about where you want to put your person. So I'm going to draw my head like that. And I want you just to watch first. So this is my head. And after I draw my head, I'm going to draw my neck, okay? Just like that. So just watch first, and then you can get an idea of where you want to put your person. I'm going to put my shoulders and my arms. Now remember, I'm underwater, so it's going to be a little distorted. So after I get my arms in, I am going to repeat the sketch. I'm just going to draw over what I drew, but I'm going to let you guys draw along with me, okay? So now my arms are in, so I want you guys to start yourself. So I want you guys to make your head, so I'm going to draw it a little bit darker. And since we're using the whole page for just one swimmer, you can draw it a little bit bigger. So draw your head, then the neck, and the shoulders into the arms. Okay? Just like that. Okay, now after you've gotten your head, your neck, your shoulders, and then drawn your arms, and you can draw your arms however you want, whether you want to follow exactly what I'm doing, if that's easier for you, or you can draw your hands however you want if you're swimming, okay? Then we are going to go ahead and go with the rest of the body. And first, you're going to draw your waist right here, and then your legs. Now, when you're swimming, if you haven't left a lot of space here, that's totally fine, because you can draw your legs bent, because there's lots of kicking involved in swimming. So your legs can be bent or they can be straight. And there you go. So however you want to do it, go ahead and draw the rest of your body. So this is kind of like a rectangular shape right here. You're going to draw your rest of your body and then your legs. So this is your chest right here, your waist, and then one leg and the other leg. If you want them bent, that's awesome, or you can have them straight, however they fit on the page. So if you look at this one, I did this one with straight arms, and straight legs. This one had straight arms and then bent legs. Okay, so however it fits, that's what you're going to do. Okay, so we started off with the head. We added the neck. This right here is a rectangular shape. Off the rectangle, there's hands, or arms and hands, and then legs and feet. Okay? Now that we have our body, we are going to decide, because this is supposed to be us, we're going to decide what kind of swimsuit we want. So whether you wear a swimsuit that's 2-piece or 1-piece, you can go ahead and draw that on now. If you are a boy and you just wear swim trunks, you can just draw the shorts on like that. Or if you wear like one of the swim shirts, you can also draw that. So however you want to draw your swimsuit. That's the kind of bathing suit I use. So that's what I drew. Okay. So now that we have our body, I want you guys to think about what your hair might look like. We're not going to do it yet, but I want you to think about how your hair might flow to the side in the water. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to color in our skin. So hopefully you have crayon colors that kind of are close to what your skin color is. I picked this color, which is kind of like a light brown. I am going to color my face in. Now you want to make sure you get pretty good coverage, because as I said, we're watercoloring right over this. So whether you're using crayon or oil pastel, you want to make sure that you cover all the spots, because whatever is not colored in with your oil pastel or crayon will end up being blue, because that's what we're going to paint on top. Okay. So keep coloring. And make sure you color your legs. Okay, awesome. So now I'm all colored in, and I want to think about my bathing suit. What color am I going to make my bathing suit? I think I'm going to make it green. And here's where you can get a little creative, like designing your bathing suit. I'm going to make it green and yellow. Okay. Now remember, everything that's not colored in is going to be blue, like the water, because that's what we're using for our swimming pool water. Somebody just said hi. Hi, Joshua. Okay, so that's me in my bathing suit. Okay, now I get to think about, as I was saying, you want to think about what your hair looks like. I'm going to do my hair first, and then I am going to do my face. I guess it doesn't really matter with the order. But, so I have black hair, so I'm going to draw it in. Now I'm using a crayon with this. These are Mr. Sketchy crayons. I just like them because you can roll them up and roll them down. But it kind of looks like a colored pencil, but it's not. It is a crayon. Okay, so I'm going to make my hair flowing out like this because I'm floating in the water, and you may remember from being in a pool, your hair kind of flows around you like crazy. It can even flow up here like that. Okay. Oh, it's a little crazy. That's okay, because I'm floating and the water is pushing my hair all over the place. Maybe I'm even doing the back float. Who knows? Okay, so that's my hair. Okay, now we get to do our eyes and nose and mouth. So first, I'm going to do my eye. One eye, two eyes, just like that. I'm going to draw my nose, and there's lots of ways to draw noses. This one, I'm just going to do kind of like an arrow. So I'm going to move it up so you guys can see. And since I am happy to be in the pool, I'm going to give myself a big old smile like that. Okay, I think we are ready, almost ready, because I'm just going to do an outline. So go ahead and take your black crayon or black oil pastel and outline your swimmer, just like this. So I'm using line to define my swimming self-portrait. And a portrait is a drawing of a person, and if you're doing a self-portrait, that means that you are drawing a picture of yourself. So this is a self-portrait of me in a pool. Okay, and I'm going to outline that. Add a little bit more here. Okay, so now I am done drawing my person, drawing myself, but I wanted to go back and see if there were any spots that I wanted to put a little bit more crayon or oil pastel on, because I want to make sure that the watercolor doesn't get into that space. So I want you guys to look at your own drawing. Is there anything that you don't want to be blue, like the water? And take your time and fill it in with either your crayon or your oil pastel. And I just noticed I need to do that. Okay, so I'm going to move this up so you guys can see. Now, if you look at this drawing, you might think, oh, Miss Elaine, that doesn't really look like you. Well, yeah, I guess so. So for one thing, maybe my skin's just a little bit lighter, but that's okay. Remember what I said about being in a pool. It distorts how you see your body and maybe even the colors. So because I'm floating in the water, it's changed a little of what I look like. So if you ever have been to the pool and you see someone swimming underneath the water, it looks a little different than when they're out of the water. So that is why. And once you have colored everything in, you are ready to do the reflection of the sun shimmering off the pool. So that's what these white lines are. And if we want to reference David Hockney's painting as well, I'll move it up closer. You'll see he has his reflection lines in the pool right there. So when I draw this with my white crayon, it's going to be very hard to see. But we are going to draw lines, squiggly lines that are diagonals. So they go diagonally across the page. They can go horizontally, so across the page this way, or they can go vertically, which is up and down, but they're going to be squiggly lines. And I'm going to use my white crayon for this. You're not going to be able to see this. So maybe I'll do one line in yellow just so you can see, but I want you guys to use white. So I'm going to do a yellow line going vertically, and it's going to be squiggly. So I'm going to show you guys. Excuse me. Oh, there it is. Excuse me again. So you'll see it's a squiggly line. It's going vertically up the page. I did mine in yellow, but I want you guys to do yours in white, and I'm going to switch to white right now. So I'm going to continue with some more white lines going vertically. I'm going to do some horizontal. You can't really see them because it's white on white, but trust me, they're there. And I'm going to do some diagonal ones, so they're going to go across the page diagonally. Excuse me. Spring allergies, summer allergies. So, okay. I think I have enough white lines crossing my page. Now, the last thing I have to do before I paint is I have to put bubbles from where I am breathing under the water. So I'm not really breathing under the water, but I am exhaling under the water, and that means bubbles. So I'm going to draw bubbles, which are going to be little circles with my white crayon, just like that. Now, once again, you can't see them. I'm going to bring it closer. Maybe you can see tiny little bit what I just drew, but I drew little white circles right here, and those are going to be my bubbles. Okay, we are ready to paint. So go ahead and put your crayons to the side, your oil pastels to the side. You should have your brushes and some water. If you are using liquid watercolor, you will have liquid watercolor in your palette. I have a very fancy palette right here. It's actually just a red cup, so you don't need anything fancy. Or you can use your pan watercolors. But as I said, I'm going to be using liquid watercolor today, but whether you're using liquid or pan, the steps are the same. You're going to pick a brush that is on the bigger side. You are first going to paint the whole page with just water. Now, we are painting it with just water, and you might get a little bit of like where your oil pastel is smudging as you're brushing over it. Don't worry about that. It'll be okay. Now, you don't want to paint around your person. You just want to paint right over it, just like that. Just with water. You are going to add the blue in just a second. Okay, so I'm going to paint over the whole thing, side to side, long strokes, until the whole page is pretty shiny. You don't want it to be super soaked, but you want it to be wet enough where you can tell that you've wet the whole page, because it's a little bit shiny. Okay, fantastic. We're ready to paint. Now, as I said, you don't want to paint around your person. You want to paint the whole painting blue. That means paint right over, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to paint right over my person, and I'm going to bring it up close so you can see. You can see that the oil pastel is resisting the watercolor, and it won't turn blue. Everything that I have colored with the oil pastel or my crayon will resist the watercolor. And you may see my white lines coming up. So you weren't able to see them before, but now you can see them. And that is the sun shimmering off my pool. Okay, so I'm going to keep painting, and I hope that your white lines are also resisting that watercolor, because that is part of the magic of using oil pastels or crayons with this technique. Okay, I am almost done painting the whole thing, and I can bring it closer to show you. So I am hoping that we are going to get to use our swimming pools in Longmont, Colorado, where we live, well, where I live. And I'm not actually quite sure. I haven't heard anything about it, but I really love our pools, especially Sunset. So I hope that we'll be able to use them again this summer. So I'm going to bring this up closer, and I'm going to show you some of the areas that did resist the watercolor. So you can see, as I said, I drew my bubbles. So you'll see those little white circles right there. You can see the white squiggly lines that I drew. And you can see how my person, me, because it's a self-portrait, resisted the watercolor as well. So the yellow and green of my swimsuit resisted the watercolor, and as it dries, actually, you will be able to tell even more how much the watercolor was resisted. Now, if you look at mine, you'll see that there is a texture where I colored, and that's because this is actually watercolor paper. If you did not use watercolor paper, you would probably be able to get more of a flat color where you colored in with the oil pastel or the crayon. Because this paper has a texture, that's why that's showing up as like blue within the brown skin color that I used, which actually is pretty cool because that is showing you how I look underwater. So there's like a little blue tint to everything, even though the oil pastel resisted most of it. So it's just a really cool technique to use watercolor and different mediums together. So I'm going to turn this screen up, and we are done for today. Hi guys! So here is my self-portrait in the pool. There I am, swimming. My hair is all crazy because that's what it looks like when I'm floating in the water. You can tell that, you know, the color is a little bit distorted because you are seeing me through the water, underwater. And, so that's what I look like swimming. Once again, we did this lesson based off of a reference of David Hockney's painting. And this is a portrait of two people at the pool. And I think that is it. Awesome. So thanks for coming to draw with me, guys. Draw and paint with me. Hopefully you guys had fun just like I did. If you guys finished your project and want to share with the Longmont community or the Firehouse Art Center community, definitely send it to me. There are 3 ways where you can get me a picture of your artwork. You can email to me at elaine@firehouseart.org. You can find the event for this art class on the Facebook page, and you can post your picture there. Or you can send me it in a Facebook message. And we will share on the Facebook page for the Firehouse Art Center in the photo album of kids art classes pictures. So you'll see it. But if you have submitted pictures, you'll find your artwork there. I did not tag anyone just because of safety issues, but you'll definitely see your artwork there, and I love seeing what you guys create. So please, please, please send it in if you can. We'll share it with the Firehouse Art Center community. I'm just going to check the messages and see. Hi, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming to paint with me. I had a really great time, and I'm already looking forward to Friday's class. Remember, we are going to be doing these cool skateboards, but there is hot glue involved, so kiddos, make sure you have your adult help you, unless you're a little bit older, and you can safely use the hot glue gun by yourself. I don't want anyone to be afraid of the hot glue gun, but I want you guys to respect it because it is hot and it will burn you. So if you feel like you can do it, ask a adult and then they can help you out. So we're gonna make these skateboards. They do roll. And we're gonna make these hockey sticks. So just some fun activities that you guys can play around with during the summer, because summer is starting. So if you don't have popsicle sticks, beads, or toothpicks, message me on, I'm going to create an event when I get off of here. Message on that event saying, hey, Miss Elaine, I need an art pack, and I will make sure to put an art pack together. I'll put your name on the list, and I'm going to hang it on the Firehouse Art Center mailbox, which is on the front of the gallery on 4th. We're on the corner of 4th and Kaufman, but it's going to be on 4th. So you'll find the bag there. Cross your name off, grab a pack, and you will have all the supplies you need for our Friday class. You will need the hot glue gun and the glue stick. I can't provide those. You can use normal glue. It just takes a really long time to set. So definitely try and get some hot glue and a hot glue gun if you have it. So I will see you on Friday. Thanks again for coming. Visit Firehouse Art Center on our webpage, firehouseart.org. If you can, at this time, donate at the donate page so we can keep these classes going. If you want to subscribe to our newsletter, you can find all the news there too. So thanks, guys. Bye. I will see you on Friday. Bye.